Welcome, welcome, welcome once again to Words Have Power with Teresa Hawley-Howard. This is our October summit, and once again, we have a fabulous woman to come on and speak to you about things in your life that might hold you back, that might hinder you, that might really stop you sometimes in your tracks. And this is a hard one sometimes to speak on, but it's something we have to learn to work through. Welcome to the show, and tell us about yourself.
Hello.
Welcome to the show, and tell us about yourself.
All right, thank you. Hi, my name is Vernessa Blackwell. I'm also known as the grief strategist.
That is Go ahead.
I help individuals to heal and restore joy after personal loss.
That's a powerful position to have. I know sometimes when we lose a loved one or a friend or a partner, it's really hard to move on.
Yes, you're absolutely right. A lot of times people struggle with grief.
They kind of get stuck in that moment.
Yes.
Can you give us some tips or some strategies that you have your people work through, that maybe if they've just lost a loved one, or even if it's been a while, because I know sometimes the grieving process is different for everyone. So sometimes it may take years or a lifetime to get over that loss.
That is so true. Well, I believe that there are stages when you're going through grief. And a lot of times people don't know how to process, because sometimes they be stuck in different stages. Sometimes people are angry. They're mad with the Lord, or mad with, a family member because their loved one has passed away. So they start trying to negotiate, and they be like in a bargaining phase where they're bargaining. If I could just have one more day or one more month with my loved one, I think life would be so much better. But yeah, they be stuck in different stages of grief.
I think that's so true. And sometimes you just get stuck in that moment. If it's that anger or that loss moment, you just get stuck right there, and everything gets stuck. Your life, your relationships, your business, everything just seems to hit a brick wall sometimes.
That's absolutely right. Sometimes, yeah, and then they're like be sinking into depression because you can't get back, because you can't push. They can't get up out of the funk up with dealing with the grief. So they kind of like in the last stage, which is depression.
I think that's so true. And sometimes we don't want to reach out for help, but a lot of times we need to.
Absolutely. A lot of times people, like I said, because it's a natural process that we all have to go through. And so there is no timeline to how you can deal with grief. Sometimes, like you said, it could be my mom passed away in 1998, and that's been over 21 years, almost 21 years ago. And sometimes it hits, you're just like, oh, you just have those moments, birthdays, anniversaries, certain smells, certain places that you visit will just take you back into, and people, if you don't know how to handle it and start doing things to bring yourself out of that stage, you can slip into depression.
I think that's so true. I know my grandpa has been gone since 2000. And so, but there are moments that, because they raised me. And so there are moments that, joyful moments that you think, oh, I wish they could have been here. What if he could have seen this baby? Or, what if he'd have watched her walk the stage? How much she turned her life around? All those joyful moments that you have, sometimes it can throw a little bit of a wrench into the plan, because you'll catch yourself missing that person, or thinking back to how much better it would have been if that person was there instead of staying in the moment.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think a lot of times you recognize the symptoms that you're dealing with grief, that it's grief that you're battling and struggling with. Because like sometimes, like I said, it's like a roller coaster. Your feelings can go up and down, from deep sadness. Sometimes you feel like you in shock. Sometimes you feel guilt. Sometimes it's fear because you don't want to face life alone. Some people are nauseous. Some people fatigue. Some people can't sleep. So it can definitely, a lot of people go through a lot of aches and pains, like their body just aching, or they'll gain a lot of weight, or some people don't eat and they'll lose weight. So knowing the symptoms and what you're battling and fighting with helps a lot when you're dealing with grief.
And I know that you have a book out about it, so tell us about your book.
Yes, I have the Grief Helpline. It's a devotional, and it walks you through the stages of grief. It's a 100-day journey through the stages of grief. And like I said, sometimes it's not, when people purchase my book, sometimes they're dealing with anger, so they'll go to the anger portion of the book. Then I have a workbook that I'll walk them through that they can work with the journal. With the devotional. I have a whole grief kit. So it's called Slay Your Grief Kit. And I believe that if you read the word, pray, you will slay grief and restore joy, because it's like I said, there's joy in the word, joy in knowing the word of God. And when you start to apply this to your life, it pulls you up out of, any situation that you're in. So if it's grief that you're battling with, it's going to lift you up, raise you up. And I think that's what I said. Read, pray, and pray.
I think that is so true. And I know you have a new project that if people have gone through grief that they can write in. So tell them about that project.
Yeah, so I just released a book. Well, you were my publisher. Thank you so much for publishing our book. Your wings were ready, but my heart was not. Our celebration launch for that is November the 30th. And the next project, we're just starting a project, and it's going to help individuals heal from grief and loss as well. It's going to be a devotional, and it will have over 90 people in it. I have like 30 something people that's committed to the process already, or have not made their payments yet, but some of them have. And so it's moving along, but we're going to teach people how to find joy in the journey.
That's so great. Now tell the listeners where they can reach out to you at.
You can reach me I have a website. My website is www.griefhelpline.coach. You can also find me on Facebook as the Grief Strategist. I am on Twitter, Grief Strategist, as well as Instagram.
Thank you so much for being on the show today and for sharing with us how to walk through our journey of grief, and for all that you do for the women and men who need your counseling, need your coaching, and really for all the lives you have touched with that last book project.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank y'all for listening to Words Have Power. This has been Teresa Hawley-Howard, your host. And as I promised, we've had another fabulous guest on here for our October Summit. Thank you for listening, and remember that your words have power. Use them wisely.